this isn't the one before this one. This is kind of just like here I could show you. So uh,
Oh, just change his color whenever you
it's because I
go back to the
watched
set
the
bar.
costume.
All right.
But look at this. Actually no, that's the wrong one. Hold up. Where is it? Okay. All right. So wouldn't you say like this one is kind of like a continuation from the left one?
Yeah, because of the scarf.
Yeah, just like I'd say it's basically
This,
everything that makes it seem like that.
yeah.
Like maybe if you like mix these two designs or turn it into this or something.
You got a bit more added on in this version,
Uh-huh.
but they do look similar.
That's kind of what I was trying to do with this costume, just like mix all the designs that I had before and then make it new.
All right.
And this, I'm thinking like this might even just be my final one. For one, I might quit the game, and two, I always say two, but yeah,
Okay. Well, you think of anything else they'll do after this?
I'm not sure. Like, really, all I have in mind now is just making a final film, but I don't know when to do that.
All right. Well, I'm
Also,
sure another game will come out. There's also that fan project that people are working on. We haven't really heard a lot about
oh
it
yeah,
though.
and a detail
That
that
should
I
be coming
did
out
like exclusive to this costume was like grain textures
for the hat.
for basically everything. I did it for the skin as well. It's kind of subtle.
Oh. Did you paint that?
No, I didn't paint it. I just like I put like just a couple like objects with opacity and then change the color. So like there'll be a
Okay.
material behind it and then yeah.
Okay.
Why I did this is because if you know like TV static, I thought that would fit with his design. And it also kind of just makes my costume look more realistic, which I like.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because he looks a lot more detailed compared to these two.
Mhm.
And why I'm not going full black is another reason for that, just to show detail.
Yeah, 'cause it's a lot harder to see on black, right?
Yeah, yeah, basically. And that's another thing, so he doesn't blend in with any black backgrounds or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say it's just like maybe the perfect design.
It's got a blend of all your previous models, so I can see why.
Yeah, like I kind of just went all out on this one. And right now, I don't even know what else to do with it. Like this is literally one of my only costumes I don't know what else to do with. Because with every
It
other
might be
design, there would
finished.
always
You
be
don't know what to do with it,
yeah.
unless you just feel like you need to add something.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Because like that's what I do with all of my costumes for Gage. Because like I say, okay, maybe this is the final one, but no, I always find something else to do with it, and I try to do redo. And the same cycle goes over again. This one though, like, is actually kind of serious. Like, this might actually be my final one. Because if it's taking it on
Gotcha.
everything else, along with being new, then yeah. And I think this one would like probably even bring back like some of my old fans and stuff. Because if I'm
So
going out with a big film, having this design as well, it might like make him recognizable. Because his design's always just drastically changed.
I would call it Renaissance gauge.
Yeah,
Yeah, see
yeah,
how that fits?
uh-huh. Like I'd call stuff like this like legacy gauge, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like a simplistic age, but now it's just like a renaissance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and the one before this one, I don't know if you remember.
What's that blue? Is that a model or is that just textures popping back in?
No, those are just those. Okay, so see with these costumes, they all use stickers. So if I take them off, they look
Hmm.
like that.
Like
And
a
I,
Muppet.
and I, yeah, and I do it before taking off the costume, because if you don't, then the stickers bug out a bit. They mix together. But
Okay.
yeah, this was the one before that came. You know, it's a
All
decent
right.
design, but like you can see how much of a huge downgrade it is compared to this. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's time to go back. So I kind of like this one's kind of just a banger now.
Yeah. Pretty neat. Yeah. I can see why you're not using that model now because you don't want to show anybody. Like you could even just stay private, but it'll show your face in the the player icon.
I was actually thinking like maybe in a couple teasers or like maybe in some bits of the film like it'll show like parts of his clothes but not show like his face yet. So I'll show you what I mean.
Mhm.
So they'll kind of be like back facing probably, like for the most
All
part.
right.
Like maybe if I want to
And
show some
you
parts of the clothes and then like show some full body scenes, it'd be like back facing.
and you got a little bit of shadow.
Uh-huh.
All
And
right.
like yeah, and once I'm like actually like ready to reveal it, then it kind of shows the full thing. But what else makes it hype is mainly the eyes, because I come back to that after the
Mhm.
button ones.
All right.
And fun thing, there was actually one that came before this. You can see with this one, it has a gray hat instead of a black one.
Yeah.
Why I did that, um, is because I asked one of my friends if like they wanted to like look at the design real quick. So like basically I basically allowed them to. And yeah, like during the time I gave some like slight hints and stuff, so I was like, you know what, fuck it, just look at it. And
All right.
they said like, you know, it'd be cool if the hat was just inverted rather than how it is now. So basically saying like just the normal hat. I was like, you know what, fuck it, sure.
Okay.
But some small differences with these two designs though. It's mainly the shoes and some of the color tones. So
The drip.
yeah, the drip. uh, the pants on here are lighter than the other one, and the pocket colors are different. The shoes are different as well. And what else? I think that's it. So I guess you could call this like a beta design, and then like a final,
All right.
and then maybe everything else was like alpha or something. I don't know, but some deep shit.
Yeah, you've been putting a lot of thought into it.
Uh-huh.
You ever just make a whole bunch of models and not know what to do with them?
Uh-huh.
I'm doing that right now.
Wow.
I'm sure you seen a lot of pictures I put in the art section or just on Twitter. I made a whole bunch of models, but just still thinking of how to animate and what to do with them.
I'm just having a look at these.
All right.
You know what? I actually have another character that I redesigned. I don't know if you remember my Oddsaw character, but that was Walt. I redesigned him as well. I don't know if you want to check him out or not.
The art style, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you want to check it out?
Yeah.
Sweet. First let me get rid of him. Then
He's just dead.
just, yeah, just dead. Because I think with this one, I actually did like like a major like overhaul, basically.
You inverted the colors a little bit, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I see it.
It's actually an older one than this one as well. which is this one.
Thank God for the stickers. It looks wacky as hell without them.
Well, fun fact, this one came before this one. It's just that I I was kind of
I'm
going for
saying
like
the
a
default
simplistic route.
colors though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Without the default colors, this shit would hit different.
Yeah.
But you could kind of tell like I kind of had like a different art style going on between these two. But now
I
with
noticed how
him,
whenever he closes his eyes, you can actually see the crease when he was laying down just now.
oh this one? Or wait, no.
The early one. I think so. Yeah, when
Well,
he closed his eyes, you could actually see the thing in the
yeah,
middle.
I actually did that with this costume exclusively because there's like a certain animation in this game where like if he just sleeps, the eyes are just literally soulless. So it took me really fucking long just to fix that
Yeah,
if I could
cause
find it.
you can't just have him keep his eyes closed, can you?
Nah.
Or can you? Well, you no, he still stays still whenever you put the stickers on him, but in certain poses, it doesn't really work that way.
Oh. But you see with the eyes, like they actually look closed when he's sleeping, right?
Yeah,
But as for these two, um, they're just literally non-existent.
they're just gone. Yeah.
Yeah. But like even this, just having this like sort of eyelid sort of thing, it works.
hmm You painted that in. You painted that inside the sockets.
Uh-huh. It was really like tough to do too, because I had to like duplicate the odd socks and stuff like that, change the opacity and shit like that. It took forever. And you could just tell, like I'm just going like all out with these two now,
Going
especially
ham.
if I'm final. Yeah, I'm going ham. And I even had some thoughts before with my costume, like if I could put some decorations on them, but I think this is just fine, especially since on some parts of clothes I've reached like max sticker limit. And even for a sticker limit that's like 5, th this shit goes ham.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I'm
sometimes you don't really need to add so much to it.
and that's why like cuz one time I did actually add a bit too much to my costumes. So I had like just major amounts of detail. Like I had like radiant stickers everywhere and shit. It looked
hmm
really out of place compared to other characters, so I kind of like toned it down. And I toned it way down with like the simplistic designs. But I kind of went back up a bit, and then now it's like a balance.
I mean, at least you got a good taste in color palettes too, because a lot of kids with OCs,
Yeah, they
the
just go
colors are
with this.
everywhere. Like
Yeah,
rainbow hair, or you know,
uh-huh.
it's hard to look at.
And
This is easy to look at.
usually the
It's nice
colors,
to look at.
yeah, usually the colors are like really fucking solid. Like it'd just be solid red, solid blue, rather than just like a tint or something. Um,
hmm
yeah, my older costumes had that actually. Like they weren't solid, but they were considerably brighter and stuff.
Yeah, but it's the colors still weren't all over the place. It was still uniform.
Yeah, like I could show you what I mean. Like, yeah, you probably know what you're talking about, but I just want to show it. But say like, let's get 2 triangles here. So say like, yeah, that's like a solid blue, right?
Yeah, it's bright.
But if this were me, I would just like make it a bit darker or something. Maybe even add like a slight tint like that, you know?
Because when you're looking, compared to just looking at something in real life, when you're looking at something from a screen, you got all that light coming and hitting your eyes.
Yeah. See, like this is much easier to look at compared to this. And
Yeah.
I guess if I wanted to say like maybe even add like a slight gradient around it. Okay, that didn't work. But hold on.
That just made it see-through. How did you do that?
I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
the background is gray.
I guess if I
I
wanted
can
to
still
like
see
I could just
myself through it though, yeah. You mess
That's
with the
opacity.
opacity.
But yeah,
Yeah, you use that for
if I really want to
Windows.
go ham, I can make this like a full texture. But nah, I'm just showing like color differences and shit.
Yeah. I wish we had that in Dreams because we have to use text boxes in order to make windows.
Uh,
Yeah. We don't got window. We don't got opacity for sculpts, just paint flecks, but the paint flecks aren't really that good. They're really messy.
hmm. Yeah, this is another thing I do with blacks as well. Like, I'll just make them a bit brighter than what they're supposed to be. Cause
You could
like
do a
yeah,
lot with just this alone, having the character go through the box like that and disappear.
hmm. And yeah, right now this would probably look like just a light gray, right? Well, if I told you that in normal environments, this kind of just look like just a dark gray, or might as well just be like a black shade, you know?
Because of the shadows, right?
Well, not really the
The
shadows,
shading.
but not really the shading, but more necessarily like how how do you say it? How it just look dark, just generally darker compared to everything else. So you would think it's black, right?
Yeah, true black.
Yeah, true black is like mega fucking dark, but this is just like what you see
Have you ever
naturally.
seen a Have you ever seen a something painted in true black before?
Not in person, but I've saw videos about it.
Dude made painted a whole room in full black and it looked like he was in outer space because there was no light
Wow.
besides what was coming out of the light bulb and looked like this light bulb was the sun.
Oh yeah. And what? Uh oh yeah, another thing with black levels, like it's kind of hard to do because some people's TVs are like set differently. So they might not able to see this sort of black, so it's kind of hard to like show it.
Unless you use outlines.
Yeah, you could use outlines, I guess, but there's also like if you want to do details inside of it as well, then that's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
So for me, I kind of think between like a viewer's TV and what I'm actually seeing or what's intended. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And then stuff like that basically just goes into what I make for my costumes.
gotcha. So you got a good, you kind of good with colors.
hmm Just the one thing that always like was very inconsistent was the skin color though. So it would
That's the
always
default skin color, isn't it?
no, that's just like that's just the one like from a long time ago, I guess. But
Okay.
yeah, from costume to costume, like it would just always vary. And I was like, you know what, finally I just want to make it consistent. And I thought this just fit perfectly. And I've even looked at myself in the mirror and stuff, like try to match it up like perfectly. It fucking fits, you know?
Nice. You got a hat like that?
I don't have a hat like that, but
You could probably knit one.
yeah.
That'll take forever though. All you just need is a circle in the middle, so you could probably paint it on there somehow.
Yeah.
All you just need is a black beanie.
Also, he's still sleeping. And like that's that thing I want to do with this character too. Like he's just always chilling out and shit.
Mm.
But sometimes he's just like joking around and shit. It's like he'd be kind of a funny character. But yeah. And honestly, like looking through some of these costumes, like it kind of looks like they aged a bit, wouldn't you say?
How they ace?
How they aged a bit, like doesn't it look like that?
Yeah, it do.
Ha
If you put it side by side, you could do a timeline video.
maybe. But then I have to remake all my other costumes, so I'm thinking about it. But
Okay.
how old would you say he looks right here?
Looks pretty good, man.
Hmm. No, like how old?
Oh, compared to this one, he does look a lot older.
What age would you say?
Um, Cartoon eyes still kind of give it away, but I say 20s,
20s. Hmm.
20s maybe. I'm not good with the seeing the age difference in people,
That's fine, bro.
but I see it around that time. I'm about to be 20 tomorrow.
Hmm. Oh, you're about to be 20. Holy shit. I thought you were like,
Yeah, man.
I thought you were like 16 or something.
Nah, that's just my voice.
Hmm. Between these two, like, how old would you say he looks?
I think it's more the detail that gives it away.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
If I had this one
I can see the age difference though. It's kind of hard because the models are the exact same,
in. Yeah.
but the details still change it up a little bit.
Hmm.
Let's see what you're talking about.
How old would you say he is? Like,
Not sure on dog years.
what about human years? Like, what would you say?
Um, Kind of like tortoise age,
Who, him?
not 100 years.
Hmm.
Like you know how whenever I look at this version, I think of a tortoise for some reason.
What, this one?
Yeah,
I think it's because he looks kind of big.
the mouth and the eyes, I guess.
Hmm.
Throwing ideas out there.
You still don't have age for this one?
Not really.
Hmm.
So I think that's more of the built-in fuzz filter. But this one has a lot more fuzz on it than that one does.
Hmm.
Kind of like this one was fresh out of the box compared to that.
Hmm. Yeah, because I kind of wanted to
You
say,
know,
like, yeah, I know what you mean. Because I wanted to say, like,
you know, how, like
maybe,
toys
uh-huh,
age like that.
yeah.
That's what I mean.
So I'd say maybe, like, because, get this, I've been on this game for, like, 7 years since Little Big Planet 2. So let's
Hmm.
say, like, during that time frame, he actually was, like, kind of roughed up a bit, which is kind of why he also has some of those grain textures and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, if I ever voice him, he might even sound like a little bit older than I do myself, because one of my friends gave me a suggestion that, like, maybe right now he's probably 17. I'm actually 60 myself. So maybe he sounds like slightly older. Or maybe, like, once I become 17, I could just voice him.
All right.
My birthday's in a few months. It's in December 7th, actually.
Same month. September what?
December 7th.
December. Okay. I thought you said September.
One of my friend's birthday is actually December 5th. We joked about how he's like 2 days behind me.
Ah.
Do you have any suggestions for these costumes, by the way?
I would say if you want to work on the age, unless you're trying to make them like kind of still young, but aged older, work on the skin a bit.
Hmm. Because
That's all I
I
can
don't
really
I don't
think of.
usually think of age when I actually like do my costumes and stuff. It just kind of comes to me whenever it's finished. But I was
I
just
see what you're
curious.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of much else but that, because usually the skin gives away the age most of the time.
Hmm. I thought it made sense too. Like if his skin was like just slightly darker, like since he's been like
Hmm.
out in light and shit a lot. Like even during the test, like Yeah, I think that would make a lot of sense. Just connecting everything together
Yeah.
would match up. Oh yeah, there's even grain textures in the eyes if you didn't notice.
I saw a little bit of that.
Hmm.
Now he's
Oh yeah,
sitting down.
and even with
Yeah, there's a bit of a fade to it.
Vault actually, he actually has like like very slightly faded pupils.
Yeah, I
So
see what you're saying now. It's not just a. It doesn't just look like metal.
yeah.
It would have been nice if they had that little detail in there where you could see the reflection in the eyes.
Mhm. That's kind of what
It's
I'm doing with
probably
the
too
eyes
much
now.
work.
I'm somehow like really good with that.
Or reflection.
I guess. Like you can't actually reflect anything off the eyes, but trying to give that feel of it, like just having the shininess and some of the gradients kind of help make that effect.
Alright. Unless there was some sort of way to get the reflection off a material and put it on there somehow.
Hmm. Yeah, mainly like if there's anything I could reflect off of, like of course the eyes, like maybe some parts of the clothes, like maybe the shoes a little bit, like anything that's like maybe leather or something, I'd reflect off of. Here, he would be a good example, cause like the headset, the eyes, and the tongue, like that would just be perfect. Except it
Hmm.
can't be overdone, you know, like yeah.
Is that a tag right there, or is that right here? Was
What?
that a tag in the original model?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was actually thinking of doing something with that, except it's hard to do
Put a barcode
because
on it?
yeah, like I was actually gonna have hold on. I was actually gonna have this sticker on it, but the problem with that though is that not that it's
It
too big.
stretches out too much?
No, not that. Like I can make the sack bot bigger to make it fit, but when I did, the texture for it was like really pixelated. So I thought of just scrapping that all together.
Oh, alright.
You know, maybe I could even use this or something, but see the inconsistency with that though is that that's already on a shirt, except better,
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're trying to make it more unique.
Uh-huh. Like I'm like with my costumes I always have some kind of like consistency. Like see with this shirt,
Hmm.
like you see how like this would be kind of like a two, right? Like a Roman number two. One of them is filled, but the other
Yeah.
isn't. So say like with this one, like this is already finished, but you never know if there might be a second part to what like whatever I'm doing. Like what if say his design in LBP has this like first line filled in, but then something outside of LBP like he'd be featured again, and this like both of them are filled maybe, you know?
Yeah.
You know, maybe even like the first one could be filled in black and the second one could be filled in white. I think that makes sense because that's his color scheme with the costume.
Oh,
The
for
D
the tag, I would say a barcode, but try not to make it too messy. Just paint one out first.
Well, I can do
You
that. I can
might
make
have
the
to deal
sackbot
with
like
the pixelation issue.
well no, I can make the sackbot like really big and put it on there. I did once and it just didn't work. So
Okay.
like like yeah, there is something maybe I could put on here, but I just don't know what.
Yeah, I was just thinking of a barcode, like the usually most hats
Like that's what I'm
have
saying, you
words
know?
on it.
Like
Yeah,
that works, just that this
I got one
game is
right
just
here.
yeah, this game is just literally not HD enough to do that. So,
Maybe the next one. I mean, if there ever is a next one, they'll probably work on that more.
mhm.
Okay, I'm looking at the beanie I got right here. There are a whole bunch of words on it, and it's got a symbol, like a brand name on it. It doesn't have a barcode though. You can take that off. Just sitting back admiring your work.
Uh-huh. Um, so looking at these designs, like, do you have any ideas for what I could do with films or whatever?
Hmm. Can you change this color of this, the plasma?
I can't, unfortunately. I wish I could make that white, but I can't.
Okay.
So looking at these, like, do you have ideas for, like, what I'd do for last film or something?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Hmm. Because I'm thinking there should be, like, just one thing with, like, just one thing symbolizing some sort of age progression. Like, maybe they've gone through something, you know?
An hourglass, maybe?
Ooh. I haven't thought of it that way. But, hmm.
Or maybe a loading symbol. Kind of like your hat symbol.
Yeah, that's kind of always something I wanted to put with my films and stuff. I just haven't put that yet. You know, maybe I have an idea. I just, like, I'm trying to go bigger, you know?
Yeah.
Because how long I've been with this character is, like, really fucking long, so, yeah.
You're
Sometimes it's
trying to
hard to.
symbol you're trying to make some sort of symbol that kind of it references the meaning of the film. So I'd
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah,
this
like
one
that.
some sort of symbol that represents retirement or the end.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, because I discussed with one of my friends, about Gage a bunch of times, like his, like, the symbol on his hat would be, like, to say, you know, things have come full circle. Like, you started here, a bunch of things have happened, and now you're back
A
from where you
clock,
started.
maybe. A
Yeah.
clock. Yeah, a clock on the in the circle, maybe. A
Hmm.
clock's round just like the symbol you got on the hat.
Yeah, maybe you could
Would that
say,
be too
like,
much though?
I don't know, but maybe you could say, like once it does come full circle, that there's probably some, like,
Can I
huge
try and
moment
make a
for
symbol
himself.
real quick?
Sure. But like I was saying,
Something really simple. Kind of like what you got.
yeah.
Just like what you've got, but it has a bit of a variance to it.
Hmm.
It might not be perfect, but you'll get the idea.
Hmm. Yeah, so say the film starts somewhere and it ends at the same spot and then something huge is considered for himself. And I'm thinking that has something to do with, like, just him leaving somewhere. I'm not sure what.
Mm. You're not really feeling dreams.
Nah.
Okay, like this.
Oh.
You see what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a little off center, but have this in the middle.
Sometimes what I like to do with stuff that's, like, supposed to be centered, I kind of just, like, what are you undoing?
I'm trying to get that those two bars in the middle.
Oh, I mean, I think you can still do that.
That's all. I
Just,
could just get rid of this in the center. I just
I,
have to erase it, but it's not gonna be in the middle.
whoops,
Dead center, I mean.
whoops.
Yeah, I'll just erase it. Yeah.
But yeah, like, there could be something like this, maybe, you know? I don't know. Like, this is kind of supposed to be like,
Oh,
a
stop.
double digit thing.
Stopwatch as well.
Hmm.
You could have a stopwatch.
Yeah, there's like a lot of things that could just go with this one circle. And you
Another
could put that.
thing you could do. Oops.
But you could
Go
put that
ahead.
into like many different sentences. Like just saying that many things could go with this one circle. That's like saying that there's so much potential that could go into my character or something. You know.
Yeah. Oh well,
Also,
I kind of like that little um mistake I made right there. You see the little lines
uh-huh.
on the side?
And and like I was saying earlier, like
Yeah.
sometimes when something's supposed to be centered, I like to like off center it a bit slightly. Like nothing is really
Mhm.
always, I guess like
Perfect.
yeah. And that's the thing I do with my cameras as well. Like I always tilt it a slight rather than just being perfectly centered or like angular. I just curve it a little bit.
Right here, maybe.
Like what I did, you know. Like it
I'm
shows
about
that
to
it's
check
supposed to
that in
be
a minute.
hmm, like say it's supposed to be centered, but it's not necessarily there. It just kind of adds a bit of aesthetic, you know.
Hmm.
So it could even like it could even just look like that, you know.
Oh no, the black sticker has a white outline on it for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not sure why to be honest.
This kind of sucks, yeah. Well, you can see what I mean just by looking at that.
hmm
And then if you wanted to be a stopwatch, just add this up there.
Sometimes I do just like his hat being like a simple circle though, because again with that full circle thing, like things have come full circle. You're back
Hmm.
to where you started, but something different has to happen now.
Yeah. Hmm.
So you
I'm
could even
kind of
come to the
tired of the same
conclusion,
thing.
yeah, like you could even come to some kind of conclusion, like yeah, maybe there's another circle, but what if that turns into like an infinite symbol? Like just things just always loop, but there's always something new. You get me?
Hmm. Yeah.
Like his hat is kind of just like the symbolism of like say the film itself or say his own story, you know?
Yeah.
Like just what he goes through. As for Vault though, like he kind of has a symbol of his own. That's that's something I'm thinking about.
Okay.
But
What
he
about
is
this?
alongside Gage though.
Just curious.
Hmm.
Something that uses this maybe?
Spiraling. Uh,
Or you said you wanted to come to an end, so this would be infinite.
yeah.
Hmm.
So you ever know how like some circles like with some percentages like they would just be like filled up until they're like 100% complete. That's kind of a thing I'm trying to do here.
Not sure.
Like you know how like
Wasn't really sure what you meant by that. I wasn't really sure what you meant by that.
so let's say you just see like just a black circle, right? Like just hold on.
Hmm.
Like a black circle, right? So imagine that just filling up with white, like in the circle motion.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, you get what I mean?
Yeah, I
So
get
once
what
it
you
stops
mean.
there, then something different happens. Except it's still the end, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least something to conclude the story. It's hard to explain, but you get me?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Still thinking. Hey, what about an omega symbol?
Yeah, me and my friend talked about that too, you know. It's not a lot though, but that could
Yeah, I
even
think it's the same
fit.
symbol from God of War.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm. It could go many ways, basically.
Yeah.
Like, just my character always connects to something. How would you assume his story starts off, though?
A young man trying to find a purpose.
Hmm. Because I was thinking with... I kind of want it to be in between, like, a self-awareness thing for me, as well, so my friends would know me as well. So let's say he's always been, quote, tested for something, but he never knew what it was, or at least knowing that he's being tested to be potential, maybe like different stack person or something. But that's just a rough idea, right?
Okay.
But say one day
Yeah,
he
and then the end,
overcomes
he's
that.
finally found it.
Yeah, but say he overcomes that, but eventually comes through a lot of struggles and doesn't know what else to do. So maybe his only choice is to move on, but maybe something else happens. Not sure.
Yeah, he's searching for something in the end. If you don't find anything, that's what I'm guessing would happen.
Hmm.
Because it's kind of hard to find games like that nowadays, just because a lot of companies are focusing on good looking graphics, but not the gameplay.
That's the thing with games now. Like
Someone
they're
actually did
just
a video on that recently.
yeah, like most of them are just focusing on being cinematic and shit without actually working like worrying about the story and stuff
Yeah,
like that. That's why I
and
kind
that's
of
where
become
indie
like
games.
yeah, that's kind of why I like get bored of some games like really easily. Like say like I started playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. Like you know it was pretty good first run for like a couple minutes, but then I just didn't play it again because I kind of already know how it goes. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's just one of those
That's why
games.
indie games are a lot different. They're starting to make a bit of a back now
Hmm.
because they don't really have, corporations breathing down their neck the whole time.
Yeah, that like companies now are just trying to fucking like I don't know, just
Try to
follow a
make
trend,
everything look like the future and crap.
I guess. But at the same time, they're kind of just following a trend of just like
You can be different and still be successful, but they don't
exactly.
realize that.
Like it could compare like two PlayStation first party exclusives together to be like the same game basically.
Pew pew. Shooting all the time. A lot of shooting games.
But about Gage though, like you know how pretty you know how good I am with like scenery and like lighting and stuff like that. Yeah, while I worry about that, I also worry a lot about like lore and story and stuff like that.
You
And
ever
not a lot of people know about that, you know.
mhm. Have you ever seen Psychonauts 2?
I've heard of it.
I think that's a AAA game, but this it looks pretty good. It's very different. You should check it out sometime.
Was like very different compared to the first one or what?
Um, very different very different in terms of the look, but they also kept the original charm from the first game and carried it over to the second.
Hmm.
So see the thing is they didn't just run for good looking graphics. They worked on the story and the character design and all that as well.
That's the thing I'm trying to do with my characters as well. Like there has to be some kind of design pattern. But since like this is Little Big Planet, then you basically go anywhere, really.
Yeah. Okay, I'm about to send a video now. I think this is it. Because he brought up some pretty good points, like how a lot of the games back then usually they'd have everything in it, so
Like they were just
it
better.
was 100% straight out of the box. But now they got the DLC, they just keep adding and adding stuff to it until it becomes something.
That's kind of why like I've been looking a little bit
Here it
into
is.
how like game devs. like schedule their games. Like they go from like a pre-alpha to like alpha state and then beta state and then like close their open beta and then final touches, stuff like that. Like I've been looking very deep into that, and a thing I used to do with a lot of my levels, like I always just slightly update them, but now I kind of just want to like make sure it's like the full experience. Like once you watch it, you know, like it wouldn't have to be updated again. Like it's just perfect.
Hmm. I just sent the video to you if you want to watch it sometime.
I know. I might watch it like tomorrow. But yeah, I want to make sure, like, especially if I'm like on my final thing, I want to make sure I'm like going all out on this, especially. And also, I look at like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Now, like the game has good graphics, but at the same time, like I've looked at some of the cutscenes and stuff. It has a story going on. I like it, and the characters are like very like charming, and I don't
Hmm.
know, the game just inspired me a lot. That's also kind of why I
Dude,
tried to
I've
watch the
never
stretch test.
I've never played Psychonauts before, but looking at the clips from it, the characters from there are straight out of a cartoon, like old-fashioned Cartoon Network shows. Like they have character, dude.
Hmm. I might have to look into that.
Yeah, look at this. If I can get it out for you.
Yeah, like the voice acting and everything for like Rift Apart, like it just felt so otherworldly to be honest. Like it inspired me a lot. Like I'd listen,
You
like
ever heard of the Milkman?
I'm the milkman, my milk is delicious.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
That's another good one.
we're
Just
people.
subtle moments like that where they don't really explain it. It just happens.
Uh-huh.
That's good
Like
stuff.
you kind of just get it.
Hmm. Some people aren't gonna get it, but most people get it.
I can see this being a cum joke.
Oh yeah, the special delivery. All right.
Bro, what the fuck? His face. Oh my god. Uh,
The way he talks too.
yeah. He's like, where the fuck? Hmm. What was it, Psychonauts 2 or 1?
That's the second one. I'm about to send the first one, or at least some clips from it, so you can just watch that.
Because I know a lot of like
Cause it
old
really do
cartoons have
feel like
like
an old-fashioned cartoon.
yeah, because I know a lot of like old cartoons and stuff had like dirty jokes and shit. This is just perfect.
Yeah, like they know how to execute jokes. It's kind of like dark humor, but they know how to keep it down a notch. Kind
Yeah,
of like Invader Zim or you know,
I
what are
get you.
some other like kind of darkish shows but still shown on TV?
So yeah, it's like dark humor, but they're not trying to like make it too evident. Like maybe some older people would get it, but like
Hmm.
young audiences would be like not confused, but like I guess still satisfied with what they're watching. I don't know, but
Yeah,
yeah.
cause Psychonauts deals a lot with the mind, so a lot of the characters on there are pretty crazy.
Hmm.
So they use that to their advantage.
How would you describe my character? Like what could he be? Like like what he does as his character or whatever.
Oh, Gage,
Yeah.
he's a traveler.
Hmm. To be honest, I actually did always want something to have to do with him traveling. Like just rather than just being friends with stuff, like he might be out doing just some general stuff, you know, except
Yeah,
he's always
he's
going through
usually
some kind of
pretty
struggle.
silly. He's usually pretty silly, but
Hmm.
he's always just kind of looking for something.
He just doesn't know what. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't know what, but he doesn't try to let it down. But once it does come, then I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about.
Mm.
Cause me generally, like, I like talking to people, like, not virtually sometimes. Like, I'd be in school, I just have a wholesome time. Like, I just be laughing and shit, just, you know. So I kind of
Yeah.
want to like try to carry that onto my character, except just like maybe some slight differences, you know. I don't know. It's hard to describe. And that's literally what my character is. Like, he kind of looks like me, just slightly different.
Yeah. Complete opposite from mine.
Hmm. Yeah, yours is straight up dragon cube thing.
Yeah. Well, that's just my art style. I
Yeah,
wish I
yeah,
could draw kind of like Mondo does.
yeah. I've seen his rendition of your character.
But
It's
I
pretty
also
cool.
kind of yeah. I usually just like do characters like that and not put my real face out online, so it's more of a persona.
Hmm. My character's
Yours
like,
still yours still does the same thing. It's just but it still represents you.
uh-huh. My character's like in between,
Another
like,
reason I just do it is because it's fun.
hmm. My character's in between like persona and his own character. It's really like he's literally black and white, like just no color, no color. Now you could just put that into like him being a persona and not a persona at the same time. You get me?
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, you could say, well, isn't that just a persona? Well, no, because he has his own traits as well, you know?
Yeah.
I was thinking he might have some kind of power of being able to like spawn items of his own and stuff, but I'm not actually sure what I could do,
You gotta
because,
stand.
yeah. And I wasn't sure what else to do.
What would your
However, I
stand
did
name be?
my stand. Like,
Your stand name. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
JoJo, yeah.
uh-huh. I'm not
Also,
sure.
season 8 should be coming out soon.
Oh.
Newest season, I mean.
But yeah, I was thinking he might have some kind of like inner power within himself to where he goes like all out. Like I just do that sometimes, you know? Like just with this costume. Like it's kind of a connection
Mm-hmm.
between my character and him just doing his own thing. Like it's beautiful. But um what fucking like my one of my original ideas that I had for him, like you know those like rings or like bracelets that he had as old design? I was thinking he could use those to like maybe
Mm-hmm.
make items of his own or just use them for teleportation. But instead of that, you know, I like
So,
backtrack to
like,
my
for
old levels.
teleportation, the
Like, let's say he would just like throw one of
for
those and then,
teleportation, like the ring some portals.
yeah. But,
I see what you're saying.
yeah, I was thinking, you know, he hasn't really used these much, so I just gave him gloves instead. And I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking, like, I backtracked to my old levels and stuff. Like, I always made, like, platformer levels and stuff, so I was thinking, like, in his films, there had to be something to have to do with him being very, like, agile, I guess. Like he's always just jumping around and stuff. He's very quick, stuff like that. You know, he can fight, but I
Mm-hmm.
think at the same time, like maybe that comes at a certain cost. You know,
Yeah. Maybe the circle could symbolize that somehow.
yeah, like maybe that could symbolize some kind of like inner power he has, but at the same time, you know, he needs some life. He can't just be just a dude like jumping around and shit. So
Yep.
there be like people he talk to and stuff like that, and things like he has problems with. You know, I was thinking maybe like
Mm-hmm.
while he's been like tested for like parkour and stuff like that, then you know once he goes out on his own, he kind of has some stuff to learn for himself, and that kind of becomes a problem for him. So he like maybe probably gets like sometimes easily frustrated, but at the same time just try not to
So
like
it's kind of like getting out of high school.
yeah like that.
It's like getting out of high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So say like let say like him being tested for like parkour and stuff like that, or just being like a sack person or whatever, would be him like his school or just his life, you know, until he gets out on his own
Mm-hmm.
and he's like a relatable character, you know? Like sometimes you just want to be free and shit, but
Yeah,
at the
you
same
gotta
time,
find.
like yeah, like that could just be
So his
the general
character
idea.
basically represents life.
I guess you could say, you know, like I
Cause
love it.
like whenever you get out of that, you the whole struggle is trying to figure out what you want to do with your life.
hmm And I think what would become deeper is like say, you know, if I got out of like my parkour testing and stuff, then how do I go beyond life itself? And even I myself have questions
Yeah.
like these, like take them like shower thoughts, except they're not in a shower, you know. But like
Mhm.
trying to find that
I have
path,
shower thoughts all the time.
yeah, but like trying to find that path to like finding his own true success, or maybe like just being free. Like he doesn't know exactly what he wants, but he just generally just doesn't want to do life, you know.
Yeah. That's why you gotta search.
hmm So maybe at one point he does realize, like, you know, he has made a couple friends and stuff like that and wants to help them out and stuff like that. I'm thinking about
Mhm.
it. So
All
maybe
right.
one day he learns not to think too far. Hmm,
Usually thinking too much will stress you out.
exactly. And I'm just thinking what kind of influence, like, Vault could have as well, you know?
Yeah. I think one of the main things to focus on whenever you're trying to figure out what you want to do is focus on your talents or the things you like to do.
What if these two have like a direct contrast? Like, Gage, he's just always active and shit. Like, he is always just trying to like look for what to do and just always out talking to people,
He knows what
going
he
out
wants to
running and
do
stuff.
though. This one
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, and at the same time, like he just doesn't want to he just doesn't know what to do else for his life. Well, Vault, you know, he's just chilling stuff. Like, you know, he's either like always sleeping, listening to his own music, or just telling some short advice, vague advice. Maybe just chilling out with him sometimes. You know, just having good talks with him.
I mean, either he knows what he wants to do or he doesn't, but he's he's accepted that. He's
Yeah,
just kind of vibing.
like maybe in a way
Some
he's somehow
people
like
some people can do that, others just can't.
yeah, like maybe he's just pretty humble, but he's always just like
Mhm.
active, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'd say like he would have some other friends to talk to as well, like maybe even my online friends. Like they could like make an appearance in my films and stuff to help convey the story that I'm trying to tell or convey.
Yeah, I
But
see what you're saying. It's all coming together. You might want to write that down.
I mean, I do take video clips a lot, so
Yeah, you could just clip this whole thing
hmm.
and